Alright, hey YouTube, what's up? This is going to be part 2 to my video on how to make yourself a staff at a PVC pipe. This one will focus on making the top half of the staff. So in this video, I'll be focusing on two different methods. You can look at them both and decide which one you think either looks better or is easier to do, and go from there. So what you'll need is some scissors, some wire cutters, some steel wire, and foam. You'll also need some modeling magic clay. And of course, later on for painting, you'll need some paint. So the foam I used here is just a foam mat that I had lying around. You can buy them at hardware stores. And if you are going to go the foam route, I recommend getting a mat that doesn't have these bumps. The bumps cause a lot of problems, so watch out for those. So going the foam route, the first thing you're going to need to do is cut up little pieces of foam. These are going to form your core as well as the branches that attach to that core. So cut out little pieces and then cut off a length of steel wire. Always cut more than you think you're going to need. Better to have too much than too little. Then you're going to wrap the steel wire around the tip and then slowly twist the wire and twist the foam, twist the wire, twist the foam until it's shaped to the shape that you want with, again, excess wire hanging off the bottom. All right, so what you see here is what I have done. I've got a little branch right here as well as the rest of the branches attached to the centerpiece. As you can see, there's a little bit of excess wire hanging out the bottom. What I also did here was add tape to the tips. I did this when I was trying to make the branches because it just held them together a lot easier. So this is what it looks like when it's all together. This is what I'm going to put into the top of the PVC pipe. I left a lot of excess at the bottom so that you can shove it into the pipe and it'll make it a little more stable. If you don't have all this excess shoved in there, it'll be way too top heavy. As you can see, adding the branches is simple. You just add them on and twist the wire around your core once or twice. So the next step is going to involve model magic. This stuff's really cheap. It's like $4 to $5 a bag. You get like a whole container full. It's great. It's easy to work with. It doesn't smell. The only downside is it takes about 72 hours to fully dry. So I emptied it all in the container, and as you can see, what I'm going to do is cover the entire core, every branch, with this model magic. So for the second method, all you're going to need is actually just the steel wire and the model magic. So for the core, you're going to want to take steel wire and bend it over itself a few times just to give it that extra durability. One strand of steel wire by itself is actually a little too soft, and any weight on it will cause it to bend over. Then all you do is take model magic, roll it into the shape you want, and then shove the wire through the magic, and then continue to shape around that until you're satisfied with any branch shape you're looking for. So what you see here is a side-by-side comparison between with foam and without foam with the model magic. I actually ended up going the non-foam route because I liked the skinnier branches. They looked a little more natural for what I was doing, and I found working around the foam was a little difficult. It kept expanding, so it kept cracking the model magic, and it was a lot harder to work with because I kept having to add all these layers to it. But again, up to you, depending on what you're going for. If you're going for maybe a bigger prop, the foam might be better because you'll have to use less model magic to fill it out. But if you go that route, just keep in mind, again, you're going to have to add a lot more layers to it to stop it from cracking so much. So once you've added the model magic or shaped it to what you want it to look like, just take a pencil or even part of the steel wire and just kind of run it along the ends really gently just to make grooves, which later on will help add to that wood effect. So what you see here is a picture of me adding the foam version to the PVC pipe. All I did was stuff down the excess into the top of the pipe as deep as it could go in order to give it as much stability as possible. This version here is what I ended up going with, which was just the steel wire. So I took a bunch of steel wires, folded them over themselves to add that strength, and then created a base of model magic around the top of the PVC pipe, shoved a bunch of model magic in there, and then stuck these steel wires in there to build the rest of it around. So what you can see here is the steel wire version without the foam. Built the entire model magic core around a few overlapped steel wires, and then built little branches and stuck them into the middle there. So one thing to keep in mind is when you're adding these little branches to the middle piece, you're going to have to add a lot of extra modeling clay to where they connect, because A, to add durability, but B, to prevent it from cracking, because it will crack a lot when it starts to dry. The advantage is, hey, that actually kind of looks like wood, so it's got that natural feel to it. So again, once you've built as many branches as you want, once you have the shape you want and all the branches you want, add in those grooves using a pen or fine tip, and then you can start to paint it. I use the exact same paint that I use for this PVC part, so it's the burnt umber color oil-based paint. It ended up being a little darker, I think, because it seeped into the white a little better than it obviously seeped into the gray. So all you have to do to counterbalance that is add a few more layers of paint to your PVC pipe, or just apply a thinner layer. So for the entire thing to dry, it takes about 24 to 48 hours. That includes the paint as well as the modeling clay itself, which does take quite a while before it actually solidifies. One thing you're going to notice with this modeling clay is it cracks, and it continues to crack as it dries, especially with the steel wire in it. Again, this adds to the wood effect, and I actually really liked it, but you're just going to have to keep filling those cracks in with paint. And then once it's all dry, you're good to go. There you got yourself a nice wooden staff made out of PVC pipe, some steel, and modeling clay. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if I can do this, you 100% can. I know nothing about what I'm doing. So, keep at it, keep crafting, and good luck.